Hello everyone, in this session we are going to talk about the modifiers. When we are writing, we need to add some details in the sentence to engage our readers and to hold their attention. With that, we need modifiers. So this session, we need to talk about what are modifiers and how to use them correctly in our sentences in our writing. What is a modifier or what are modifiers? Modifier comes from the word modify. So a working definition of the word modify is to change or alter something. So this definition is still the same considering the purpose of modifiers in the sentence. Alright? So a modifier changes, clarifies, qualifies, or limits a particular word in the sentence in order to add emphasis, explanation, or detail. So modifier tends to be descriptive words such as adjectives, if it modifies noun, if it modifies nouns and pronouns, just like the example, the red house, school. So you have here the modifier red, which technically describes the house. Okay, so you have here the red, it modifies house. All right, or it could be an adverb if it modifies verbs or a co-adverb. So consider the example, he ran quickly. So you have here quickly as the modifier, modifying or describing the verb ran. Or it could be modifier phrases if it is longer or it is a group of words. Okay, adverbial phrases if it modifies an action, or it could be adjective phrases if it modifies an actor. So consider this example here. Looking at the clock, he noticed that he was late. So particularly in this one, this is the modifying phrase describing the actor he. Like most of the writing technique, modifiers can be brilliant when used correctly and effectively in the sentence. But on the other hand, if a modifier is used incorrectly, the meaning of the sentence can become blurred or distorted. This is true with dangling and misplaced modifier. Now, what is a misplaced modifier? So maybe one of the common problems is where to place a modifier. Specifically, modifiers can cause confusion in a sentence when they are placed too far, okay, from the noun they are modifying. Alright, so what is now a misplaced modifier? So a misplaced modifier is a word or group of words whose placement is wrong in the sentence. So in this one, in this case, the modifying word and the word that is being modified is far from each other. Okay, so consider this following examples here and tell me whether the sentences are correct or not. Okay, so number one, more beautiful than any human being, the explorer noticed the mermaid. Number two, wild and untamed, Jack entered the jungle. Number three, moaning and hunting voices, the house contained many ghosts. Tell me if the sentences here are correct or not. Alright, all the sentences here are not correct. They contain misplaced modifier. Okay, why? You will find it later in the next slides. Okay, how do we fix it? How do we fix the misplaced modifier? Okay, so first we need to revise the sentence. Okay, taking care to put the modifying words or phrases and clauses in a position that clearly identifies the headword and that does not awkwardly interrupt a sentence. Okay, first step in revising the sentence is you need to find the modifying word or phrase or the clause. Okay, and next you need to spot the word, the exact word that is being modified. And the third one, you need to place them side by side. Okay, so example number one, that is incorrect. Have here example number one, more beautiful than any human being. The explorer noticed the mermaid. Okay, so where is now the modifying phrase here in this sentence? Okay, this is the modifying phrase. More beautiful than any human being. Okay, considering that modifying phrase, who is being modified supposedly? All right, so it is the mermaid. But the mermaid is being placed too far from the modifying phrase. So all we need to do, so we have here the step one, find the modifying phrase or the modifier in the next spot, or find the word that is being modified. So you have here the modifying phrase now is, okay, the modifying phrase now here, more beautiful than any human being, and the word that is being modified is mermaid, and they are too far from each other. All we need to do is transfer the word that is being modified or the modifier side by side. So they need to stay side by side. So here we need to transfer the mermaid near to the modifying phrase. We have here the explorer noticed the mermaid, which was more beautiful than any human being. Or to follow this structure here, so more beautiful than any human being, taken from the original statement, and we need to transfer the mermaid near to that modifying phrase. So you have here the mermaid and the word that is being modified near to the modifier. Following the same structure, more beautiful than any human being, this is the modifier, the modifying phrase, and then we need to transfer the word that is being modified near to it. So the mermaid. So you have here the mermaid, and then continue the sentence, was noticed by the explorer. All right. Another example. Wild and untamed, Jack entered the jungle. So here in this sentence, the modifying phrase here is wild and untamed. Okay. What is being described as wild and untamed? Of course, the jungle. Okay. So all we need to do is to transfer this one, the jungle, beside beside the modifying phrase. So this is the correct one. Jack, as the subject in the sentence, entered the wild and untamed jungle. So you have here the modifying phrase describing the jungle. Okay, I hope you get me. Next, the third example for misplaced modifier. Moaning and hunting voices, the house contained many ghosts. Technically here in the sentence, this is the modifying phrase. And then, who is being described that is moaning and hunting voices? Is it the house or the ghost? So technically it is the ghost. And then the ghost here in the sentence is very far from the modifying phrase. So all we need to do is to transfer this. Because in the sentence that makes it incorrect because this one describes the house. But technically, the house will not say something. The house will not speak, will not moan. So this is that makes the sentence incorrect. Okay, so we have to correct it. How do we fix it? Transfer the modified word beside its modifying word. So that's how you do it. The house contained many ghosts, moaning and hunting voices. So this is now moaning, hunting voices would always describe the ghost, not the house. Okay. Alright, so I hope you understand how to correct misplaced modifiers. Again, how to correct a misplaced modifier, you need to first find the modifying phrase or the modifier. Next, find the word that is being modified and put it side by side. Okay, place the modifier, either the modifier or the word that is being modified side by side or beside each other. Alright. Now let's proceed to the dangling modifier. Okay, from the word dangle, what makes it dangle? it is awkward. It cannot be understood because it is hanging. There is something that is lacking in that particular sentence. So what is a dangling modifier? A dangling modifier is a word or phrase that modifies a word not clearly stated in the sentence. Okay, that makes it a dangling modifier because the word that is being modified is not found in the sentence. If in the misplaced modifier, the modifying phrase or the modifier and the word is modified is in the sentence, but that is placed wrongly. But this time, the word that is being modified is now gone in the sentence or is absent, is lacking in the sentence. Alright, consider this following examples here and tell me if it is correct or not. Using a variety of pedagogical technique, the students were taught grammar. Number 2, to improve his essay, each page was proofread. Number 3, while reading the novel, the pages that contain important information should be marked. Okay, tell me now if the following sentences here are correct or not. Alright, all the sentences here are not correct. Why? Okay. Let's find it out in the next slides. So how do we fix a dangling modifier? Of course, this is the first step. Name the appropriate or logical doer of the name the appropriate or logical doer of the action as the subject of the main clause. So technically, it is a dangling modifier because the doer of the action is missing in the sentence. So all we need to do is to find or is to add the logical doer in the sentence. Okay, the example number 1 is what you've said. All the 3 examples were are not correct. Okay, for sentence 1, using a variety of pedagogical technique. Obviously, this is the modifying phrase here. The students were taught grammar. If we are going to ask, who is using a variety of pedagogical technique? Is it the student or someone else? Okay, so technically, this is hanging. This is a hanging sentence because there is something lacking. There is something that is absent in the sentence. And that absent is the doer. So technically, we will be asked or you will ask, who is using a variety of pedagogical techniques? So it is not stated in the sentence. So that makes the sentence incorrect. So how are we going to correct this, or how are we going to fix this? All we need to do is to add the person who is using the variety of pedagogical technique. So technically, it is the teacher. So this is the correct one. Using a variety of pedagogical technique, the teacher. Okay? So you have here, using a variety of pedagogical technique. This is the modifying phrase, and then you have there the teacher. The teacher here is now the doer of the action, and this using a variety of pedagogical technique modifies the teacher or describes the teacher that he's the one or she's the one using a variety of pedagogical technique, and then is teaching the students grammar. All right, so to give more example for your understanding, we have the second one. To improve his essay, each page was proofread. Okay, so this is the modifying phrase here, to improve his essay. Okay, oh, who proofread? Okay, so there is lacking still. There is lacking in the sentence. Technically, the doer. The doer is absent, so all we need to do is to add the doer in the sentence. So, to improve his essay, David proofread the page. You have here the doer David, or you can say to improve his essay, Nathan proofread each page, or you can say to improve his essay, he proofread each page, or to improve his essay, Jonathan proofread each page. So all you need to do is to add the doer in the sentence. Okay? Last example, while reading the novel, the pages that contain important information should be marked. Who will mark the page? So still the doer of the action is absent. That makes the sentence hanging. Okay, how do we correct it? We need to add a doer. So while reading the novel, you should mark the pages that contain important information. Okay, so all you need to do is to add a doer of the action in the sentence. Okay, so as a summary, in fixing a misplaced modifier, all you need to do is to first find the modifying phrase or the modifier. Second, find the word that is being modified. Third, put them side by side, or put the word that is being modified near to its modifying near to the modifier. Okay, how to fix a dangling modifier? You need to add a doer of the action in the sentence. Okay, so just add a doer to fix a dangling modifier. Now let's have a self-test. Tell me if the following sentences here are correct or wrong. Okay, let's have the first one. The professor posted the notes for the students. Is it correct or not? You're right. The sentence is correct. Okay, number two. On his way home, he saw a car collision by the side of the road. Correct or not? Perfect. You got it right. The sentence two is correct. Number three. You're right. This is incorrect because it contains misplaced modifier. So how do you correct it? This one. Jenny entered the bright and full of flowers meadow. Okay, number four. With 3 minutes to write, the exam was nearly finished. Correct or not? You're right, this is incorrect. A dangling modifier, the doer of the action, is missing in the sentence. So all we need to do is to add a doer. So with 3 minutes to write, Christian nearly finished the exam. So Christian is the doer, the absent in the sentence, okay? So number five, careful not to make a tear, the delicate paper was wrapped around the gift. Perfect, this is incorrect. This is a dangling modifier, okay? How do you correct it? Add the doer in the sentence. So this is how you do it. Careful not to make a tear, Joan wrapped the delicate paper around the gifts. So they have here, Joan is the doer of the action. Joan is the one wrapping the delicate paper around the gift. Okay, the doer of the action is now present in the sentence. All right, so I hope you understand what is dangling modifier and the misplaced modifier, and you know how to fix them when you found them in the sentence to make your sentence right and to make your sentence engaging to our readers. All right, so thank you all for listening, and I hope to see you soon in the next session. Thank you.